and welcome to the Splash Live, a show all about the people of the greater West Bloomfield community. I'm your host on this adventure this morning, Ronnie Dahl. Thank you so much for being with us. You know, Martin Luther King once said, "We are not makers of history, we are made by history." Think about that for just a moment. And, you know, by knowing our history, it helps us understand the world so much better. And the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society has been collecting and preserving the history of our little corner of the world. Here with us this morning to talk about that and so much more, Gina Gregory, President of the Historical Society. Thank you so much. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Ronnie. How are you?
You know, good. Can I ask you, as someone who has a passion for history, what has been your thoughts about history coming out of COVID? Because I feel like all of a sudden everyone was thinking about history and learning more about the flu of 1918.
The flu of 1918. And what I really get out of the pandemic experience is that people are just more, or what I've seen is that people are more interested in where they are. Their sense of place, where do they belong, what's the whole story of their culture. So we've been fortunately looking into that ourselves, and so our own exhibits reflect more of the deeper history that we have of the area. We were closed during the pandemic just by coincidence to revamp our whole museum experience, and so our Native American or our native people, we spent a lot of time talking about that, even just who are we, you know, the native people that were here. And so our exhibit is much fuller than it used to be. And we talk about the customs, some of the artwork that they made, trade good items. So there's just always more to tell. And we'll be highlighting some of that at the Juneteenth event. So I had been asked, what can you tell us about Black people in West Bloomfield? And my answer was, I didn't know anything. One of our researchers looked at census materials, and we know that there were 17 Black people here in at the time of the 1870 census. So there's always more to learn and exploration to get into.
It really is fascinating. So can I ask you, since you've been digging deep into the history of the area, what's the one thing that you've learned that surprised you?
I think it's that where the museum is now. I knew it had been the City of Orchard Lake City Hall. I knew it had been, but prior to that, a hotel for vacationers that came out here. But I didn't know that before that it had been a tavern on a stagecoach line. I didn't know that. And I thought that was pretty fantastic. And I've also seen maps that show Native people paths going by Orchard Lake. So we're located on Orchard Lake Road and Long Lake Road. But to me, we have a continued presence on that corner of always being a beautiful spot for people to see Orchard Lake that's been shared by people always. And we're so excited that we have the opportunity right now to use the Orchard Lake Museum for our, as a building space and continue that tradition. And we've trimmed the growth along Orchard Lake Road so that people can actually see Apple Island, which is designated on the National Register of Historic Places. They can see it from our location.
So, Ms. Gina, you mentioned Apple Island. I am fascinated by the island because I come from Kego, so I pass it every day, but I've never been over to the island. Can you tell us more about it?
You're going to have to wait one more year. And then in summer of 2023, we'll be so excited to bring, to again, have our Apple Island tours. We plan to do it this year, but we knew that the West Bloomfield School District is in the process of buying or purchasing new tour pontoon boats. And they were ordered, and of course, along with everybody else, they haven't, they haven't arrived yet. So at this point, we're going to plan on tours on June 10th and 11th of 2023.
So I'm going to put it in my calendar now because I will drive by, I'll see the sign, and then I know it fills up pretty quickly as well.
Well, and the particular nature of the tour is that it's going to depend on the weather. Certainly the boats will be operating successfully, so it will depend on the weather, so you cannot purchase tickets ahead of time. But that day you just show up at the event and then you sign up and get on a boat when it's the next group available.
So for those that aren't familiar with Apple Island, can you give us a brief background on it?
Sure, and I'm going to let you know that this, in June, our McQuandon, Mike Jewell, who usually is a presenter on the island, will be at the museum for our open house June 12th from 1 to 4. He usually is in his regalia outfit in a campfire situation, a camp situation on the island, but this year he'll be at the museum next to his regalia outfit that's now on exhibit, his clothing, with our exhibit, and he'll be talking about Native American life there, or Native people life.
So
what was your question? I don't know that I answered it.
No, it's good. How did Apple Island get its name? Do you know? I mean, are there apples on Apple Island?
It's a great question, and we've dug and dug, and it's a very old name. It has been called Orchard Island. It's been called by the natives a word. It sounds like Apple Island. Research, then you ask yourself, well, what kind of apples were they? Locally, there can be hawthorn trees that have haws, which is their fruit, which is an apple looking like fruit. And so you can go online and find those, and we have a photo of them on our exhibit now. So they're probably haws. Probably from early on, the French brought over apple saplings and would plant them. So by the early pioneer days, people were trading and bartering for apple trees. And one of our first pioneers purchased some from Apple Island. I don't remember quite all the details, but they've been around for a long time. Currently, there are 5 apple trees that were planted in 2018 or so by West Bloomfield School District students from Gretschko. And we were able to plant them because the island is now a forest, but a huge maple tree died. And so because of that, the canopy opened up with some sunlight, and we were able to plant the apple trees. Whether they're going to have enough apples or enough sunlight to be really successful will be another question. So there are apple trees there.
You know, and I have a paddle board, but I usually go out on Sylvan or Cass Lake because it looks close, but really if you're going to paddle over there, it's not so close, and we should remind people there's no trespassing on the island, I would imagine.
That's true. It belongs to the school district, and you need permission and a permit to be out there. So if you go through those steps and have a permit, sure, but that's not usually done.
So all you boaters out there, stay away from the island.
That's right.
We know how they are. Hey, what else? Because I feel like you guys have a whole list. I was on your website. You have some exciting things going on. Do you want to talk about any of the other events coming up here in the summer?
Sure, I sure do. So we're very busy in June and July. So we'll be at the Juneteenth event over at the high school on the 19th from 10 to noon. And I already mentioned the open house on the 12th from 1 to 4. Then June 22nd, we're going to be over at Orchard Lake Country Club listening to Bruce Lilly, their waterfront director, on the sailing on Orchard Lake to talk about that. That sailing's been happening there historically for years and years. So he'll give us a presentation at the shore from Orchard Lake Country Club. And we think that should be an interesting talk. And you need to register. So to do that, you reach out, go to our website, and the email address is there. It's contact@gwbhs.org. In July, our open house theme on the 10th will be boating. We'll have a variety of things about boating available. And then we'll be at the Fine Arts Show in July. I'll have a table out at Oakland History Center's Ice Cream Social. And then we're also having an appreciation for our supporters and members on the 13th on our campus. We'll have it outside under a canopy, and we'll look forward to seeing people in person. It's been a while.
And it's so nice to be back. Yeah, I mean, while we're doing this via Zoom, there's still nothing to replace going into the museum and seeing things. Because I feel like if you can see it, you can feel it a little bit more. Hey, can I ask you one last question before we let you go? Because the one thing I always remember about the museum is when you have old letters and documents, and the handwriting was in cursive, and it seemed like everyone had beautiful handwriting back in the day. And I think about the kids now who, some of them don't have to learn cursive writing, and I'm always like, no, you need to learn cursive writing so when you go to the museum you can read the old documents.
Well, that's a good perspective, one that most adults share. Yeah. So we have many things to touch at the museum as well. There's all kinds of things to do, inside and outside. We've got a change-making machine like they used to be on buses and trolleys that kids can touch, and a telephone, and an apple cider press, and a grinding wheel, and a yoke with 2 buckets. So, and we have a little mini theater with 2 seats so they can sit down and watch a video in our Kigo mini theater.
Oh, that is so cool. So it's right there on the corner. Quickly, what are the hours, and can people just stop in if they're driving by?
Always, when they're driving by and they see the signs out, certainly stop by. We're now open once a week, and we trade it out, so it's on the 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th Sundays, and the 3rd Fridays. So we're trying to accommodate Sundays as well as Fridays. And our sign has a lot of dates on it, as well as our website. Well,
Miss Gina, thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate your time, and also all that you guys are doing over there at the Society to preserve our history.
Thank you. It's been a privilege. Thank you.
Again, the Historical Society is right there if you want to go by the museum at the corner of Orchard Lake. You can't miss it. You see Apple Island off to one side, and then the museum is right there on the corner. Just a reminder, each week we like to highlight someone from the greater West Bloomfield community going above and beyond to improve our little corner of the world. Show your gratitude, tell us about them. We made it easy. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen, fill out the Google form with the person's contact info and why you think they should be recognized. It could be a person, business, or an organization. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
You know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water, and so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Taking Taking a look at some of the things happening around town, you want to mark your calendars. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce Health and Wellness event is back after taking a hiatus due to COVID. It's happening June 8th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at West Bloomfield Town Hall. Coach Gail is going to be there. Stop by, say hi. She's going to be giving away 2 free exercise sessions. By the way, it is free to attend for the public. Laurel Riviera from EM2M Fitness has made it to the finals in the Miss Health and Fitness competition, but she needs your help to go all the way. Laurel started EM2M Fitness in Kegel Harbor as a way to inspire and help others use fitness to reach their goals in and out of the gym. The winner of the competition will be featured on the cover of the magazine and take home $20,000. Show Laurel support by going online and voting. You can just Google her name and the Health and Fitness, and her voting site will come up. Hey, the community continues to show support for the staff of Gino's Pizzeria. The Jacket Club of Kegel Harbor has been collecting money for the staff following the restaurant's May fire. To date, $3,900 has been collected and distributed to 21 employees to help them out while renovations are underway. Popular restaurant is hoping to have repairs completed and doors reopen come August. You're watching The Splash Live, a show dedicated to all things West Bloomfield, Kegel Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake. You can catch the show Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 10, and on demand at civiccentertv.com. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
I've been so looking forward to this next interview. Hannah Richey found an escape for her anxiety through art, and now she's using that art to spread kindness and a message about autism. With us this morning, Miss Hannah Richey, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi.
So, Hannah, I saw your artwork on Facebook. Tell us more about your story. How did you even get into art?
Well, originally, first I started making art just to reduce anxiety, and then I would post it multiple times and people would ask if they could buy it. So after like 2 or 3 times, we thought maybe we should, my mom and I thought maybe we should start this business.
So, and with that and doing so, can we let people know that this is also kind of your way to talk about autism?
Yes.
Tell us your story, Hannah.
So I have high functioning autism and anxiety. So like I said before, long story short, I went to an art studio just to reduce anxiety, and then it turned into a business after a couple times of posting stuff. Then amazing how it turned into a business. Being a voice. And being a voice for my people.
I love that. So when you go to these art shows and these pop-up events, does it make you nervous, or are you okay with talking with people because you're talking about your art?
I love talking with people. I love encouraging people and talking about my art and how it can inspire others.
Your art is simply amazing. I know we have some pictures. Do you have anything near you that you can hold up?
Yeah.
If not, we do have some pictures, but you could turn your screen if you want.
All right. Here, I'll just hold it up. Like here's some like a salad set, and I do custom orders, so and then like a wind chime.
Oh my gosh. So you focus on beads. How do you like come up with the design?
Well, it just depends. Like sometimes if it's a custom order, like people want to do it for their wedding colors, or sometimes I just try to use my imagination and see what would go together.
So what is it about beads that you like so much, Hannah?
It's therapeutic.
Is it like the colors? Do you just put like, you know, like drop a bunch of beads in front of you and just go to work that way?
My mom helps me with that part because she's the best at like putting colors together and being organized. So thank you, Mom. So yeah, I do that, but I do all the wrapping, and that's therapeutic.
How long does it take you? Like, can you hold up the salad set, the spoons again? Okay.
It takes me about usually 10 minutes.
Oh, that's all?
Yes, per piece, yeah.
Yeah. Hannah, you should be giving lessons, you know? Have you thought about adding that to your collection there?
Maybe someday.
So where do you do most of this at home?
I do a lot of my art at home, and then I sell it in a few stores, and then I sell it at my new favorite thing on Dixie Highway in Waterford, Yellow Dog Marketplace on Dixie Highway in Clarkston, and then Lake Life Goods on Highland Road in Waterford.
And what is your web? Because you also, people can order through your Facebook, which is Hannah Joy Spectrum Designs. So I guess we don't have to ask you how you came up with that name.
Right, yeah, it's because I'm on the autism spectrum.
Hannah, I think we can hear your mom in the background. Tell her we said hi.
Hi.
Can I ask you, Hannah, how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 3. I was 3.
And walk us through what it's been like for you to grow up with autism.
So there have definitely been some trials, but it's honestly, there's a reason God blessed me with autism. And that is to be a voice for other people and to be able to encourage other people.
So now that you've gone public with your story, are other people with autism, have they been reaching out to you?
Yes, they have. In fact, one girl emailed me and told me that I inspired her, and then I also have a brother with autism too.
So with that, Hannah, can I ask you, did you go to like public school? How was schooling for you?
I did public school. It was good for the most part.
Were the kids nice?
Yeah, I had quite a few friends, so that was good.
Because if they weren't, I would be like, hey, show them the interview now. Show them where you are now, right?
Yes, there were a couple that I would like to be able to show this to, but yeah.
So looking at some of the pictures, you go to like the fairs and these pop-up shops where you're selling them. It looks like you have quite an inventory.
Yes, I do.
What made you come up with designing these things specifically, or do you want to expand?
I don't plan to expand anytime soon, but maybe that might change. But my silverware, I found that because I liked using wire and beads, and then my mom was gifted one years ago, like 15 years ago, and she thought I would do a really good job at doing that. So, and it's like I said, it's therapeutic.
Where do you get your supplies?
Either the silverware I get from Home Goods or Bed Bath & Beyond, and then the beads I get at either Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or Etsy.
Wow. Hey, that's something, Etsy would be great for you too.
Yeah, I'll think about that.
You're like, hey, wait a minute, can we just, you know, let me stop here, you know? So with that, Hannah, can I ask you, where do you think you want to take this?
Well, that's a good question, actually. I love selling my stuff, and I love being able to inspire people, and my goal is to inspire more people and to be able to, whether it's starting a business or doing what God's called them to do.
Oh, that is so nice. I love that you're doing this and you're having the courage to do this, because just being able to talk about it and share your story, you are an inspiration to other people. How long have you been making this artwork? 4 years now. Wow, so it's fairly new for you.
Yeah.
And with that, like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the pictures of your artwork. Have we put them up yet? Some of them? Okay. I can't always see if we're putting them up, but I'm looking at this, and it must take so much patience to put all those beads together.
Once in a while it does, especially when I'm getting, like, around Christmas time when people have special orders. It's great, don't get me wrong, but then it's like I have to keep up.
Because how much of this do you do because you love it and it's helped you with your anxiety, but then when it turns into a business, you're like, oh, wait a minute, slow down here.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give other people?
Just whatever gift God's giving you, just go out there and do it, and don't be afraid, and have courage.
That is so great. So Hannah Richey with us here on the show. Hannah Joy, Spectrum Designs. You can find her on Facebook. And where are the other two stores again, Hannah?
It's Yellow Dog Marketplace and My New Favorite Thing.
My New Favorite Thing. Tell your mom thank you so much. Can she pop her head in?
Mom says bye.
Well, Hannah, keep enjoying. Oh, but can I ask you real quickly about how much do these items go for?
Well, it depends on what you're getting. Like this salad set, for example, is $40, and then like a mini spreader is $10 each.
This is so perfect, but it's wedding season right now, and these are such perfect gifts for a wedding couple. I mean, people are actually going to use it. So you're doing amazing things. Thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate your time and your story as well.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
It's beautiful. And bye, Mom.
Bye. Thank you for featuring my girl.
Happy day to the both of you.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's going to do it for today's edition of The Splash Live. I want to say thank you to our guests for taking time to be with us, and to all of you, our friends in Sylvan, Kego, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield, for tuning in. And in case you didn't know, you can also catch The Splash Live on My Michigan TV, a new streaming service dedicated to telling stories about the people and places across the Mitten State. You can also download the app for free on your smartphone or smart TV. Happy day, everyone.